Wow. We made it to 1,000 subs. That's crazy. I didn't want to script this part because I like to kind of just say these from the heart. So thank you all. Like, seriously, that means genuinely the world to me. I wasn't sure if I was going to actually reach this goal this year. I set this as a goal for myself to like try to get out videos and try to hit 1,000. And by beginning of December, we hit the goal. We got to 1,000. I'm now a partner. I can monetize my stuff. I'm working on getting channel memberships because apparently I can activate that. So that should also be soon, if not by the time this video goes out. So thank you all, seriously. Thank you all for the support, and I really hope I continue to make stuff that resonates with all of you. And yeah, let's go. Finishing Mega Man Legends was a pretty wonderful time. Going on this grand adventure, taking in all the sights and sounds of Catalox Island, the mystery, the excitement, the wonderful atmosphere and characters of this beautiful and quite mysterious place. The whole experience echoes so many lovely places I've been to on my grand gaming journey. But while I've heard about Legends 2 over the years, and let me tell you, from the little I've played of that game so far, oh my god, is it ever true. I am so excited to play more of that. I feel like there is a game in this series that is generally lesser mentioned and sometimes even seemingly completely forgotten. A distant childhood memory for some and a void in a series' chronology to others.
The Misadventures of Tron Bonne!
The Misadventures of Tron Bonne is a game that pretty much nobody really seems to talk about online. Sure, you can find some videos and reviews and playthroughs, but like, nobody really discusses it in the same way I've seen love, reverence, and recognition for Legends 1 and 2 all over. Hell, doing my usual digging for additional materials and whatnot, there were surprisingly slim pickings when it came to anything really related to development at all. There apparently wasn't even a soundtrack officially released, unlike Legends 1 and 2, so I can't even do my usual thing of going into things track by track with proper credits, which is kind of a bummer, because if you know anything about this channel, I really love doing that. I enjoyed my time with the Misadventures of Tron Bonne as I was playing through it, but by the end, and after sitting with it, I started to realize that Tron Bonne left me with nowhere near the same joyous, wondrous feeling that Legends had left me with by the end. It left me with a hunger for more, but not really for what it was serving up on the menu, if that makes sense. Something about it was still fun, but felt surprisingly more messy in its aspirations to mix things up after the first outing. Tron Bonne is shooting all over the place in terms of variety, and you see, that is a good thing. I want to be very clear about that. I totally get this being a much smaller scale side project while Legends 2 was also being developed, and therefore wanting to kind of scale down from creating this big explorable space, instead focusing on a lot of missions with variety to them, bouncing between dungeon crawly exploration, bank robbing heist combat zones, puzzles, animal stealing, and servbot managing. There definitely is a lot here from a gameplay sense to chew on. I just feel like some of the gameplay ends up way more fun to play through over others. So to start off, we got the servbot management. Every servbot has stats you can train and level up via minigames or helping them discover their hidden talents by giving them items like research notes or painting materials and things like that. Some servbots serve food, some servbots serve upgrades, some even serve cunt. You can also develop them further by taking them on missions or sending them on scouting missions. I never sent them scouting because I just didn't feel the need to the entire time, but it's there, and it can help you get items you need for servbots or your mech if you want to delve deeper into that whole side of the game. Surprisingly, I felt that the training minigames were super tight with time limits, which would be fine on its own, but the missions were, quite honestly, fairly hard. Taking them on missions was the easier way to train whatever servbots I wanted maxed. To be fair, I honestly was kind of bad at some of the minigames here, but I don't know. The fact that they all require pretty tight requirements and you need to complete 3 rounds of a minigame just to level your servbot up ends up feeling like a lot. God damn, that cooking minigame comes at you fast. Talking to all of your little guys while the Gesellschaft gets built out as the game goes on and doing more missions with them is a pretty fun loop overall though. Seeing if there's a new servbots to talk to, any with updated info or maybe some who need something to grow in some way is genuinely rad as hell. It reminds me of my days and nights playing Peace Walker and upgrading Mother Base and bringing new people back to Mother Base, and god damn, I really gotta finish MGS5 sometime, huh? That game has always seemed like Peace Walker, but more. And also unfinished. However, unlike Peace Walker's Mother Base, I don't really feel like there's much of a point to engaging with the Gesellschaft at all here. A lot of this just feels so bizarrely hollow, even if charming. Upgrades to the base just naturally happen over time like in Peace Walker, though unlike Mother Base in my experience, I ended up feeling a lot of disconnect from the Gesellschaft while playing the game. Like I did dig going around the ship and interacting with the serve bots, checking out the rooms and seeing what everybody was up to, but by a certain point I kinda just did what I had to do on the ship, mainly give something to someone or upgrade something, and then I'd just go start the next mission. It just felt like the Gesellschaft as a gameplay element needed something more to it to help it stand out, or really capture and engage me more here with what it was trying to do. I was trying to pin down my feelings on all of it by the end, but I think it's how generally disconnected missions were from the Gesellschaft entirely. For example, in Peace Walker, missions have things you can bring back, like items, personnel for your base via Fultoning, intel, a whole lot of shit that in the end benefits you in your quest to expand what Mother Base as a whole will be, and trying to complete what Big Boss thinks the boss's will is. Not only that, but the fact that the missions are replayable in Peace Walker. They have a pretty wide breadth of variety to them, which also adds more to that experience in case you miss something or someone on a mission. It helps spice up the gameplay with what you need to continue the development of Mother Base. Here, everything is just way too separated from what you do on the ship. Yes, you can get materials for your serve bots, or even get your serve bots to level up via missions and training, but there's not much else that benefits you in the long run or really fleshes out the home base itself. The gameplay loop feels really underdeveloped, though it's not like this had the same design priorities as a game like Peace Walker would, given this is a home console game made for probably a playthrough or two. Peace Walker is made considering commuting, bite-sized mission design with general replayability on the go, and with friends given the multiplayer modes. So maybe this comparison isn't fully fair, but it's where my mind went. As for the missions, you have these bank heist ones that are fine. You command the serve bots, they get knocked around, you blast everything in your way down until they're gone. It's a fun time and feels a little better than the first game's combat sections did. I will say there are points where it feels just as stiff. The lock-on can also feel quite unreliable still at times. Overall, the game manages to improve over the first go-around because of the way enemies are placed, and how the lock-on was adjusted still though. Next up are puzzles that have you moving crates around at a certain number of lifts, and honestly, I found this to be the best part of the gameplay. Really gets you using that noggin of yours in order to get some of these solutions, and the mechanics of the puzzles become more complex and interesting as you unlock more levels, which is really cool. I'm not really that much into puzzle games, but I really fucked with trying to figure these out. If you're having a hard time with these puzzles, bring along a brainy serve bot. He'll give you hints if needed, which was really cool. You also have the first-person dungeon crawly digs, where Tron sends in the serve bots instead of herself to go find treasure to sell. What makes this fun is more the character interactions than the gameplay itself, if I'm being fully honest. It's really fun meeting all of these goofy weirdos and losers, and Roxette. Oh, Roxette. But yeah, exploring and chatting it up with everybody here is really cool, and really gives you an idea that anybody can get into the Digger and Spotter game, which is rad. And I do mean anyone. Dance is going to die in these caves, bro. I fucking know it. Now, the gameplay side of these missions is honestly kind of blah. Disabling traps is basically just having your serve bots charge at it till they do it. Watching out for traps yourself, and the fairly boring combat, which is probably the worst part of this whole deal. It's mainly just watching your serve bots try to fight the things around them in the most boring way imaginable. Since the Finkel is too small for guns or general weapons, the best you can do is ram things from time to time, but your best bet generally from the second mission where you have the drill onwards is to just sick your serve bots at them. The one with the drill will pretty much take care of all of the work. So the best parts of these missions end up being those character interactions and not much else as you pass through very samey corridors and hallways as you fight on to the end goal. It does have some of the best scenes in the game though.
Looks like we ran into each other again!
It is man's destiny to meet and part with others over and over, forever. Are you trying to go this way?
Basically, yes. Ignore him. Let's go!
Watch closely. I will show you how it's done. Yeah! Foo! Chop!
Then there's the animal abduction missions, which are basically escort combat missions, and I didn't like these much at all. The enemies felt annoying to fight, chasing the animals felt annoying, and I honestly feel like Tron should have been able to just like pick them up given the mech she's riding around in. Protecting the truck from the boss in the last 2 missions also just felt terrible to me. There would be times where by the time I caught up to the mech hammering the truck, it was dead in 3 hits, and I had to restart that particular mission, which sucked. Maybe I needed better guns. Trying to upgrade my weapons led to them just disappearing once I paid for the parts for some reason, so not really sure what was up with that, or if there was some hidden thing that I didn't get because I didn't do the scouting missions, which to be fair, would be on me, but it frankly just wasn't that fun of a mission type by the last one of them anyway. Like, goddamn, having to chase down those horses, having to deal with Farmer Ted and the big-ass robots from knocking your servbots off the animals, was not a fan. Lastly, there's a casino that you can go to, and I really love the setup for this. For most of the game, Tron refuses to rest much because if she's not there, the servbots will goof off, until one convinces her to finally rest and put someone in charge. Now, once she is resting, you take control of a servbot, the favorite if you picked one, and can go to Lode's casino to gamble away all of your money if you wish, which is genuinely extremely funny to me. Just feels very fitting as a gag for this game that you, the player, can actively participate in. So overall, gameplay, structure, and design-wise, I respect this game going for more of this variety and making up for no overworld and real exploration like the first game by kinda just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall. The problem is that it spreads itself fairly thin, and when the entire game hinges on that variety and parts of the game just aren't all that great, it severely drags the entire thing down for me. I wish I had as much fun as I did with the goofy story and characters, but alas, it is what it is. I also don't want to sound like all I want is endless content from this game with the Peace Walker example I brought up earlier. I do dig more focused experiences like this. I just wish it was all more cohesive and generally fit better together as an overall package, instead of feeling as disjointed as it does to me. Really, what I wanted was more of this game to be focused and fleshed out a bit more for what it was going for. The story of this whole dealio is pretty fun, if a tad bit simplistic for my tastes. A little prequel story showing how the Bonds got their ship, and the kind of dramatic irony of building all of this up, only for it to be destroyed in Legends. But you get a lot of time getting to better know Tron and her relationship with the servbots, how they're this goofy fun family who do bad things, but never anything super unforgivably evil or anything. The servbots constantly making goofy mistakes, goofing off, hanging out, being little weirdos is really what gives this game a lot of its charm in the face of a lot of its shortcomings on the gameplay end of things. Every servbot has their own personality, talents, and quirks. Some love organizing, some love research, some love cowboy comics and will talk in a cowboy accent at you, which annoys the absolute shit out of Tron Bonne, and some will be lazy and goof off when they should be working, goddammit. Don't make me put you in the torture room, little buddy. I especially love how if you ask around, a servbot will give you a special servbot head so you can pick your favorite little guy. Being able to name them yourself so you can remember them better is really rad too, even if I didn't really do that because I'm boring. I love the little side characters introduced here and just how this narrative goes about showing off more of this world too, even if still not a lot. The game going to lengths to show how pirates and criminals gotta operate in this world, how they gotta hit up the loan sharks, and how predatory a game it all is for them is genuinely really cool to see. I love seeing how a goofball like Teasel can be accosted by this loan shark named Loathe and his beautiful twink bodyguard Glide, who, oh, Glide. It makes this world feel even more real, or about as real and connected as it can be given how goofy and cartoony everything is. It humanizes the Bonds in a really interesting and fun way. The way Tron makes friends and enemies, the way she interacts with people all around, including the servbots, this kind of silly tsundere type beat that's fun to see. Denise is an adorable, goofy-ass klutz who constantly messes up her job. Reminds me a bit of Yoriko from You're Under Arrest. Those kinds of vibes permeate pretty much any section that she's in. I really like the escalating thing with her wanting to do well and impress her boss, and just constantly failing until Tron just hands her a dub at the end of the game. I dig how they develop a kind of friendly rapport, and I really hope Denise is back in Legends too. I dig her determination to do her best, her insecure and wanting to improve nature, her willingness to judo flip a fucking mech if she has to. All of the diggers are amazing here too. Dance, the dumb, goofy, dumb idiot with a heart of gold, the man willing to throw himself at any situation in order to find loot. Pearl, the conniving, weaselly gal trying trying anything to get some treasure, but who is also honestly pretty chill and relatable, and I would also try to trick the Servbots into giving me that treasure. Zig and Zag, who I hate their quiz, I hate them, they trap me in a room. Uncle Dig leaving his little tips around for you to find the Elixir of Youth, until you find where his search left him. I love how his whole questline resolves if you end up doing some more exploring. The secret to the Elixir of Youth is so goddamn funny.
Miss Tron, the crystals are making a funny sound. They're fizzing. It looks like they react with water. Let's try putting them in this pool. Look! The water changed color. And there's a really sweet smell coming from it. Let's try some. Wait! You can't just drink that! You don't know what it is! Boy, I feel funny inside. Oh, tingly! I know! It feels like something's tickling my insides. This brown fizzy liquid sure tastes good. The Elixir of Youth is root beer? Thank you for solving the mystery. This means Dig can finally move on.
Roxette, who's just kind of wandering around, but also she's like peak character design, and she just wants Dig to finally move on as his assistant. Who cares about him? She rules. Okay, she rules. Yeah, I'm gonna cosplay her. I'm already looking for stuff to put the outfit together. I guess I wish we got more of that kind of foreboding sense of mystery and wonder that I feel like Legends kind of packs with it as well, to add another kick to the pretty simple narrative. It at least keeps up the really fun and interesting side and main characters throughout it, but outside of that, nothing about this really hooked me in the same exact way that Legends did, even though it absolutely has just as much personality and pizzazz pouring out of every end. The main narrative ends up feeling like it kind of overstays its welcome as well once you get the first million zenny that you need for Loathe, but it is nice to get a peek into how slimy the loan sharks and lowlifes of this place can also be. I guess I should have probably tempered my expectations a bit. It's not like I didn't have fun or enjoy myself being in this world and around these characters again, some for the first time, but there was something tangibly missing from this dip into this universe that I couldn't really shake as I played it. It's kind of wild how Tron Bonne has seemed to disappear from the gaming landscape today. Like I said in the last video, Tron Bonne and the Servbots were all over gaming in the 2000s, and early 2010s even. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Namco Cross Capcom, and by extension Project Cross Zone 1, the Servbot helmet in Dead Rising, the Servbots literally being the company mascot for years. They were goddamn everywhere. Before I was even fully aware of what a Legends even was, I knew Tron Bonne and the Servbots in some kind of way. It kind of surprises me that past this, they didn't really try to do another Tron Bonne-centric spin-off or anything, given how popular both she and the Servbots seem to be. Probably due to sales of this game would be my major guess. Looking around, all I can see is that they sold about 61,127 units in Japan. But even if it was the sales or something like that, you would think that even just a small handheld game would have happened or something. Hell, getting this game secondhand alone is already a huge pain in the ass. $3,200 for a copy? Really? This game is cute, but it ain't $3,200 cute. Looking around, the prices range so high like that, and that's wild as hell. But alas, outside of the Legends games and cameos and other works, this is pretty much all they got, which is a shame given how wonderful and charming the whole cast both is and can be. Though, on the flip side of that, I feel like the more I've sat with this game while trying to write this, the colder I've gotten with it. It's a fun breeze of a time, and it's not like that on its own is bad at all. Genuinely, I've played tons of games that don't stick, but are still like fun times or just like breezy one-time playthroughs. Playing this after playing Legends and really getting submerged in everything Legends did ended up with me just not really meshing with this one as much as before, which is kind of a bummer. It absolutely has the same characteristic charm and vibe. The music still slaps, the writing is still fun time, even if a lot of the mystery isn't as strongly presented, but that foreboding, mysterious air, those lively NPCs wandering around, that beautiful, explorable world. I really missed that. The whole time playing, I kept wondering why people didn't really talk that much about this game, why it seems to just not have a lot of talk or discussion online, even though the servbots and Tron Bonne herself are pretty popular in some circles around the internet. I swear I've seen this GIF posted around so many goddamn times, and I know barely anybody who has actually played the game that it's from. Finally playing it myself, I can kind of see why. I could see myself maybe playing this someday again, but unlike 1, where I wanted to replay it and explore more of the things I neglected pretty immediately, and it like stuck in my mind way after finishing it, that just didn't happen for me at all here. The servbot management out of all of it is maybe the thing that would grab me more for a replay, but honestly, this game kind of left my mind outside of writing this script once I finished it. If there were replayable missions or ways to better expand the base that better intertwined with the rest of the game and the general design, things that better cemented and complemented a good gameplay loop, I'd probably want to come back to this in the way I love coming back to Peace Walker. As is, this is fine, and honestly, that's all I really got to say about it. I'm curious to hear the thoughts of those who have played this and grew up with it, or even those who played it now like me. Maybe there's something I missed, or maybe we just disagree, but I want to hear the thoughts of others and see what appeals to you about this game. My intention here isn't to come off as dismissive towards this game, I just didn't connect with it as much as I wanted to, and I honestly wish I did, but sometimes that's just how these things go. Let me know what you think. Like always, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of my patrons. My $5 Rad or Magical Person tier patrons are listed on the screen. I want to give a verbal shout out to my Raddest Magicalist Person tier as well, who are listed on screen and always get a name shout out. Those people are Ginger, Raspe Trash Bear, and Scared Confusion. But thank all of my patrons for your support and believing in this dream of mine. It's seriously appreciated. If you would like to become a patron and get access to work-in-progress video cuts, scripts, and updates about videos, then feel free to check out my Patreon in the description below, and now a card, because I'm a partner, and I can do that now. I want to keep this one short, because shorter video, and also, like, it's New Year's. I want to go relax a little bit. But yeah, we're at 1,000. Like I said in the beginning, it's wild, and seriously, thank you all for everything. This has been a wonderful year for the channel, and I just want to keep that momentum going into 2024. Thank you all so much for the support. Thank you all so much for just, like, engaging with the videos and, like, commenting and having these discussions. Even when people, like, have had disagreements with things I've said, they've always been, like, respectful and engaging and, like, really, really great discussions, and I really love having them. And I really hope to keep that going and kind of keep that, like, this is a discussion we are having, agree or disagree type thing that I really like to see on this channel. So thank you all so much. Only other thing I have to say, so in lieu of recommending or even just talking about a thing I've been watching, I want to do another friend channel shout out type thing. I want to shout out the Twitch streamers, Spin Dashers. They're pretty cool. I fuck with their shit. They're funny. They tend to play a lot of, like, older games and stuff, and they tend to bounce between a lot of different shit, but, like, they're really, really knowledgeable, especially about, like, Sonic stuff, and I love watching their stuff. Dylan and Daniel, if you're watching this, thank you for making me laugh a lot while I edit away at these videos. I mainly have it on in the background whenever I'm editing, but, you know, I also just drop in sometimes and say hi. So that's all I got this time. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy holidays. Hope you're all doing well. I hope if you had a rough year this year that your new year is better, and I really just hope the new year is better for everybody in general. I'm also hoping the new year is better for me as well. Thank you all. If you've been subscribed to the channel, I want to say thank you very much for supporting, you know, and if y'all could leave a comment, like, you know, all that good stuff that the algorithm likes, that's very appreciated. And if you're new to the channel and you're subscribing for the first time, then welcome to the coven.